All right, let's talk about annuities. We're going to open up the playbook on this really powerful financial tool. I mean, its whole job is to do one critical thing. Take all that money you've saved up over the years and turn it into a steady, reliable income stream.
So you've done all the hard work, right? You've saved up, you've built this nice nest egg. But now what? The big question, the one everyone faces, is how do you make it last? How do you actually turn that lump sum into a paycheck that you can count on month after month for, well, the rest of your life? That's the puzzle we're going to solve today.
And for a lot of people, the answer is an annuity. Now, at its core, it's actually a pretty simple deal. You give an insurance company a chunk of money, and in return, they promise to pay you back with a steady income stream. And that can be for a set number of years, or, and this is the big one, for the rest of your life. I mean, think about it. It's pretty much the only way you can build your very own personal pension.
All right, so here's what we're going to cover. First up, we'll talk about the big choice. Are you looking for growth or income? Then we'll get into timing, because that's everything. After that, it's guarantees versus payouts, understanding the risks involved, and we'll wrap up with the big trade-off you'll have to make.
Okay, so the very first fork in the road is all about purpose. You've got to ask yourself, what job do I need this money to do right now? Is it supposed to be an income machine starting today? Or is the plan to let it cook for a while? Let it grow before you ever touch it?
And that one question leads you down two totally different paths. On one side, you've got the payout annuity. Think of this as flipping a switch and turning on the income tap. Its only job is to generate that paycheck. But on the other side, you have the accumulation annuity. This one's more like a greenhouse for your money. Its job isn't to pay you now, it's to grow your capital so you have a much bigger pile of money to create income from later on.
So let's zoom in on that payout annuity for a second. Its entire reason for being is to create that steady paycheck. Simple as that. And you can set it up to last for a specific amount of time, like, say, 10 years. Or you can set it up to pay out for your entire life, whether that's just for you or for you and your spouse.
Now, the accumulation annuity, that's a whole different animal. It works a lot more like a regular investment account. The goal here is not about getting paid today. Nope. It's all about growth. You're trying to achieve some solid investment returns over a set period so that when you hit that maturity date you picked, you've got a much bigger nest egg to work with.
Okay, so you figured out the what. Is it for growth or for income? Now we need to figure out the when. This next piece of the puzzle is all about timing. I mean, when exactly do you need those payments to actually start hitting your bank account?
And just like before, you've basically got two main choices. There's the immediate annuity, and it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Payments start almost right away. But then you have the deferred annuity. This is your planning ahead tool. You put the money in now, but you decide that the payments won't start until some date in the future. Like the day you decide to hang up your boots and retire.
This is where it gets really interesting, because you can see how these tools solve real-world problems. Let's look at an example. Meet Jane. She's 60 years old, and she's in a spot a lot of people find themselves in. There's this gap between when she stops working and when her pension actually starts paying out.
So, what did she do? Well, her solution was actually pretty brilliant, and it shows you just how powerful this can be. She took a lump sum package she got from work and bought a 5-year immediate annuity. Just 5 years. So for those 5 years, boom, steady income. And then, at age 65, right when that annuity stopped paying, her pension kicked in. The result, a perfectly seamless income stream. No gaps, no stress. Jean's story is a perfect example of picking the right tool for the job, right? But now we got to talk about the real heart of the matter. This is the big one. It's the trade-off that everyone has to make. The balance between security and the size of your payout.
Okay, here's the number one thing you have to get your head around. Guarantees are not free. Think of it like this. You're basically buying insurance on your income. And the more safety nets you want, like a guarantee that you'll get your original investment back no matter what, well, the more that insurance is going to cost you. And how do you pay for it? You pay for it with a smaller monthly paycheck. It's a straight-up trade-off. More security means less income.
And this really all comes down to you and how much risk you're comfortable with. So, if you're someone who really values security, you're probably going to lean towards longer guarantee periods. You'll accept a smaller payment because what's most important to you is protecting your principal. But if you're someone who's willing to take on a bit more risk to get a higher payout, you might go for a shorter guarantee. You're prioritizing maximizing your income, even if it means there's a higher risk for your beneficiary.
All right, just like with any financial decision, you have to go in with your eyes wide open. So let's be real and talk about the risks. What are the things you absolutely need to watch out for?
Okay, there are really three big ones to keep on your radar. First is interest rate risk. Imagine you lock in your rate, and then a year later, rates shoot up. That stings. Then there's inflation risk. That fixed payment that seems great today might not feel so great in 10 or 20 years when prices have gone up. Your money just doesn't buy as much. And finally, and this is a biggie, there's flexibility risk. Once your money is in, it's in. You're giving up access to that lump sum in exchange for that guaranteed income.
But look, it's not all doom and gloom. There are smart ways to manage these risks. For that interest rate problem, there's a cool strategy called laddering. Instead of throwing all your money in at once, you break it up. You buy one annuity this year, maybe another one next year, and another the year after that. The goal is to spread out your investment over time, so you're not stuck with just one interest rate. It's a way to diversify against a changing rate environment.
And all of this brings us to the end of our playbook, and really to the final question. This is the one that pulls everything we've talked about together.
When you boil it all down, it comes to this one simple but massive trade-off. You give up control, you give up liquidity. You can't just access that big chunk of cash anymore. But what you get in return is something that's almost priceless, the security of a guaranteed paycheck that you absolutely cannot outlive. So, the question isn't, are annuities good or bad? That's the wrong question. The only question that matters is this: is that trade-off, the one between control and security, the right one for you?